extremely special day because we have greatness in our company. We have the beautiful Lisa Harris, who is the daughter of the president and founder of Humanity Divine Libertarians Foundation. Welcome once again to In the Streets.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you, my brother. How's everything?
Great to be here. It's great.
Anyway, Lisa, I read your bio and stuff and, did a little research on you. Tell me a little bit more yoga, because black folks, it's not a common thing for...
They don't do it.
They don't do yoga. So explain to me what is yoga, what it does for you, and how you got involved on this phenomenal journey.
Wow. Okay. So yoga is it's a practice. There's 8 limbs, but what we know as yoga is the exercise aspect. It's called asana, and that's when you move and you stretch. It's a part of stretching with breath.
Okay.
That's what yoga is. I'm a yoga instructor in New York City, and I'm bringing yoga to a lot of beginners, and because I don't look like a typical yoga teacher, I'm really successful in connecting with newbie yogas and just getting the practice out there, because it's a really beautiful practice. I've been practicing for many years, and I was introduced by it after I had my first son. Also, I was able to just learn another way, a strategy of relaxing, a strategy of breathing, a strategy of being still. And I think that just the thing of being still for even like a moment or two, it can change a lot of things, because I live in New York City, so living in New York City really has a lot of frenetic energy, and even just the thought of just like laying down in Shavasana, that's a pose, corpse pose, where you just lay down flat. Even doing that for 3 to 5 minutes, you can see a change from just hot head to cool body.
Okay, so what you're saying then, the art and the practice of yoga, especially what Humanity Divine Libertarians is all about, about terrorism, disenfranchised kids, gang members, and so on. What will yoga do to someone who, say, has violent tendencies if they get involved with yoga? One of these kids that can jump up and all of a sudden just do a violent act. Can yoga transform him from being a violent individual to being someone calm, cool, and collected?
I believe so. I believe so, because the thing is that you can sit within yourself just for a moment, because sometimes you get angry and they say count to 10, but do you really know how to count to 10 and breathe? So if you really know the breath, like really going in and exhaling out and just letting it go, it may be able to change some things. It may be able to be a stress reliever from before, not making this person be so violent. If they have another avenue through breath, and then there's challenging poses, what you do, where you have to use a lot of discipline and have to really be connected to your body, so it makes you aware on how you are with yourself and also how you carry yourself outside.
Does it lead to, say, quote unquote, a higher power? Does it have to do with Christianity or Muslim or Buddha or Allah?
Well, there's no religious ties with the style of yoga that I teach, but then it just depends on the sectors. It's like if you practice yoga, it's like how we look at yoga in the West is more like an exercise principle with meditation, and sometimes they use ancient Hindu Vedic chants. And if you want to, you don't have to.
There's not a set rule.
There's not a set rule. You can be a Christian and be a yoga person. You can be an atheist and be a yoga practitioner. It doesn't matter. One thing that we do believe, and going back to the question that you were saying, is the one thing we do believe is non-violence.
Okay.
Not to harm people, not to hurt people. That's a very big part of the whole.
All right, take us back to the early days, because you said you're working with children and so on. Give us an idea how you got involved with these kids and what you will be bringing to Humanity Divine Libertarians Foundation.
So how I got involved with my first certification in yoga was actually children's teacher training. So my mentor, she and I would go to schools and do functions in the city, like festivals and art presentations, and we would teach kids, because her organization helps to bring yoga to younger children, so it gives them a strategy and especially kids in the inner city, in New York City.
Is it acceptable in the classrooms? You know, as part of the curriculum?
Sometimes it just depends on the school.
Okay.
The more progressive schools, yes, and then sometimes what they do is they have after school programs that will ask like yoga teachers to come in. Like, you know, some people do football or netball or something like that, and then you have yoga also as something to add on to it. And then, you know, with just diversifying what you do, you know, not all the time you want to play basketball. Also, yoga is really important because you're stretching. So it implements with other sports too.
Okay. Great. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are speaking with Lisa Harris, a yoga specialist and expert. So then with music, because sometimes you do your yoga stretching and so on to music, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever stretched to, say, jazz?
Yeah.
You've done it?
I have.
What's the difference from stretching to, say, a religious music, which is, you know, with the keys low there and mournful and to a high tempo, up tempo stuff like a jazz thing?
You're gonna move faster.
Oh, you can move faster. So
Yeah.
just stretch it.
You do like there's sequences.
Okay.
There's sequences that you do. There's like a traditional sequence that many students do. It's the sun salutation. So it's like you're moving all of your spine. You're moving from up, coming down.
Wow.
So you use faster music when you're doing a flow. When you're doing vinyasa flow, you use a faster music. And then say if you're having more of a meditative class, the music sets the tone for the class.
Okay.
So if I want it to be like slow and restorative, I'm not gonna play like, you know, Bashment or no Top 40. You know, I do use some jazz towards the end of the class because I like the slower styles. So it just works like that. It just works by what music, it sets the tone, it sets the tempo of how I can move. And then also, I'm not a musician, but I can hear the time, how to move the people and how to breathe. So if the music's really fast, I'm inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, and I can do it towards the beat because I know the music already and I know how to guide. So yeah, it can be fused together, and it is fused together organically. Just when you ask, it's like, okay, and now.
So you see, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my first interviews I've ever had with two celebrities of different extreme, but they still intertwine somewhat. A master drummer, Lawrence Leathers, aka Low, and of course Lisa Harris and myself, Big Stone. To have a conversation like this is healthy because we know that our children out there are actually doing things to themselves and each other, and whatever it takes. And that's why we have to big up Humanity Divine Libertarian Foundation for the great work that it has done in the past and will be doing in the future. And to have the association, Lawrence Leather, you know what I mean, or Lisa Harris, it can only enhance the foundation. And then it's a blessing also for our at-risk youths. It's an avenue where they can come in and be a part of something great and do something great with their lives. Working with children, what is your passion? How you feel when you know that as a result of you, you're helping to own this person's skill? In other words, to remake it, say from a troubled kid to a kid that is doing great. What's your passion in that?
What's my passion? Okay. So it's a planting the seed. You know, like some kids you may see only one time, but if you've touched them deeply enough and they just know, oh, that girl did that crazy yoga thing, that you put it in there. But it's just working with the kids and just seeing them grow, and then even with the challenging poses, seeing them go from not being able to balance, and then you could put that same example into life. Like you can move your body in these ways, you can contort, and some people would say your body in these poses, right? Through your breath, you can do that. And then it's telling you that through moving your body in a certain way, you can do things in life. The same way you can move your body, but you have to keep practicing. You have to keep breathing. So that's why I get a lot from doing that, especially with kids because they're fearless.
Okay.
And then if you show them the right thing, you know, they might not come to all the classes, but you put that seed in them, and it will come up when you need it. Like they might remember, oh, that teacher, she told me to breathe, or just take a breath, put my hand on my heart, put my hand on my stomach, and that could just change you from doing something irrational to just chilling out.
Great, beautiful. That's coming from Lisa Harris, of course, yoga specialist. So this is a part of the interview that I would love to appeal to you out there watching this, knowing the works that he's doing, right? My brother Lawrence Levers, and of course Lisa Harris, the work that they're doing. Would love for you to play your part, your tiny part, and pledge your support to the Humanity Divine Libertarian Foundation. It's a great foundation. It is aimed at making the world a better place. In parting, I'm going to ask you now to look in the camera and speak to the youths that you come into contact from time to time, man. Quickly, a minute or two and so on, and wrap it up.
Wow. I just want to show them that there's other alternatives, that it may seem different, but different is okay. Also to remember the breath. Remember that all of the stuff we have inside of us, and we can just breathe and relax. And sometimes we get upset, that's human. But also know that, like, sometimes sitting down for a few minutes, sometimes taking a walk, or just stretching, or just laying down in a really restful pose can help you. Also, the discipline and the practice with yoga is a practice. Nobody's perfect, and you can implement those lessons into your life, and you can implement your life lessons into your yoga practice. It's all one thing. It's all the same thing.
What's your fan page? If somebody want to get in touch with Lisa Harris, how can they get a chance? I mean, they can contact Lisa through the Humanity Divine Libertarian Foundation. We have a Facebook page on Facebook, so you can go up. Pretty soon your website will be up, and you can filter in and find out whatever you want to find out about this beautiful foundation. Where can you be located?
Okay, so you can find me actually on Instagram.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, speaking with the Ace Master Drummer, Lawrence Leathers, aka Low, and of course, yoga phenomenal, Lisa Harris, of course, coming out with good encouragement for young children or youngsters to know that if you practice yoga, you, by just stretching and breathing, that can take away that killer instinct that any youngsters might have. And of course, listening to my brother Lawrence, just his early childhood of anger management, being aggressive, and he sourced music and used music as the avenue to get him out of the frustration. And of course, he's also built a master career for him. It's wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Claude Sinclair. I'm a director with Humanity Divine Libertarian Foundation. And I'm also here to work exclusively with Mr. Leathers over here and Miss Harris to see how much funding we can garnish for this particular foundation, and to help us much as we possibly can, not just in Jamaica, but all across the world. So, if you want to get in touch with the foundation, it's at Humanity Divine Libertarians at gmail.com. There's a PayPal account that is associated with that. You can send your funding through that. And of course, the website will be up very soon. Our Facebook page again is Humanity Divine Libertarian. We're on Facebook. Send us a picture, send us a message, and we'll get back to you immediately. Of course, we want to big up the president and founder, David Williams, a person who was a troubled kid at times growing up, and also utilizing the foundation in a positive way. Thinking of the foundation in a positive way to uplift as much youth as we possibly can, from gangsterism, terrorism, you name it, scattered right across the four corners of the earth. That's where we want to reach out. So thank you very much for watching. Remember, Humanity Divine Libertarian is the way to go. Big up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Peace out.